Hello, everyone. Welcome to this month's live stream. I think this is going to be one of the last ones of the year. In fact, it's still one of the first ones that we've done. We're slowly trying to improve what the subjects and topics we talk about. So, you have any type of suggestions, please let us know. Any questions, we're going to keep it as open as possible. And yeah, I'm excited to be able to be here and talk about some ukulele. And thank you all for taking time off of your busy schedules and joining us for our live streams. During this streams, we're going to be showing you a few interesting clips of from some of my trips, especially this recent tour in Asia. It was an amazing experience. We've talked about a few things or about the tour just a little bit, and we're gonna be able to show you some really cool clips. After the tour in Asia, I had about a week and a half here in Hawaii before I actually went out for a ukulele retreat in Australia, and it was the first annual. Hopefully, it continues on. I thought it went really well. It was the first annual Hunter Valley ukulele retreat. We had just over 50 students plus their significant others or partners, and it was a great experience. And I thought that I would never be able to go back to Australia so quickly. The last time I was there was back in 2018 with Craig Chi and Sarah Mazel. We were there for the Sunshine Coast ukulele retreat, and it was great to be back. I had a lot of fun. Also saw some familiar faces, our community that has been supporting this awesome instrument over the years, and it was great to hang out with everyone. I would say this was a very successful retreat, even though it was the first. Usually, a lot of times with first time retreats, they're kind of working out like the formats, and even though there was some stuff that they're probably revising for the next one, I thought it went exceptionally well. The food was great, and it was in a nice location because it was very convenient. We didn't really have to walk very far for any of the classes or to grab a bite to eat, and it was fantastic. So shout out to Ian and his team for putting that together. Can't wait to work with all of you again. And it was amazing because after 3 days of just sharing ukulele and teaching various different classes, and oh, by the way, I was up there with Mika Kane and Matt Dahlberg, so it wasn't just a Kalei retreat; it was a team effort, and it was an honor to be able to teach alongside of them. And for those of you who don't know who they are, you should check them out. They're very amazing teachers. Teaching is their full-time job, actually. So in terms of communication and breaking things down, they're some of the best in the world. So I encourage you to check out Mika Kane and Matt Dahlberg. They both have Patreon available. They've done a few lessons online, and if you'd like to schedule a private lesson or two with them, if their schedule allows it, then consider yourself lucky because they are high in demand. So go check them out. It's great to hang out with them. I've mostly spent time with Mika working at the ukulele site together. We worked at the store for a little while, and then even when he left the company, he would still show up for a lot of lessons and podcasts. So it was great to hang out with him on a much bigger island or plot of land than what we're used to here in Hawaii. And of course, Matt, he's an amazing person, great great teacher, great instructor, and we're actually going to be releasing a project together that we collaborated on one of my original songs called Feel the Beat, and we were able to create something for people of all levels to enjoy, whether if you're beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And we worked together to be able to break this song down and kind of dissect it so that it makes it more understandable for beginners, and it'll be out soon. So be on the lookout for that. And after the retreat, we all kind of got to hang out in Sydney, which was a great experience because the last time I saw the Sydney Opera House or even caught the ferry to Manly Island, I think the last time I was there was 2016, which was basically 10 years ago. So we're going on 10 years, and it was great to see everything. And this time I had a little bit more time because the retreat was over, so we got to explore, play tourists a little bit. Back in 2016, I was there with Hawaii Tourism Authority, so we were doing these conferences, so didn't have as much time to explore. But amazing, amazing experience. And when I got back from Australia, this is all happening within the time span of 2 months. So we had Asia 1 month tour, Australia for about a week, came back from Australia. Following week, ended up going to the Big Island to spend time with the founders of Kanilea Ukulele, Uncle Joel and Auntie Kristen Souza. And a lot of people don't know this, but myself and my dad have been going there over the last 8 years or so, going there to plant and preserve our native species of koa trees, iliahi, which is Hawaiian sandalwood, and other um, types of species that we're trying to keep sustainable so that it's available for generations to come. And it's always a great experience. This time I got to bring up my cousin Aulani, and she's fluent in Olelo, Hawaii, and very knowledgeable when it comes to environmental sustainability, and she knows a lot about the plants and animals, which is great. And then a week later, now we're here doing this awesome live stream and having fun, being back on the road and being able to tour again. And for some of you who stopped by the Haleiwa store at the ukulele site, I actually stepped down from the storefront, but I'm still with the company, involved with all of the sound samples, all of the podcasts. Whenever Andrew and Corey needs me, I'll be there to the best of my abilities. And so now I actually have more time during the day to be able to do things that I enjoy, such as stuff like this, a live stream, answering questions. And it's been an amazing, amazing experience so far. Next year, there is a lot of things in store. And yeah, I mean, can't ask for a better type of job or career because it doesn't really feel like work. And so right now we are gearing up for a special tour during this holiday season in Japan. So during the first week of December, I'll be flying out to Tokyo to do a few shows there. One of them is for our good friends that founded the ukulele picnic here in Hawaii, the Sekiguchi family, and also our friends at Kiwaya. So there's two big shows that will be happening there. So we already posted a few advertisements on Instagram. So if you haven't seen any of this, please check it out if you're going to be free during that time or within the area when we do these shows. Please check it out while tickets are still available. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it, not just to see all my friends and fans, but also to enjoy the culture and the amazing food. So I'm actually currently on a very strict diet. I haven't consumed any rice, noodles, breads, carbs, sugars, candies for the last 2.5 weeks, and I feel much better. Of course, you can't really see anything yet. I just started, so I'll be inviting you along my, I guess you could say, my health journey, because with all these tours coming up, I need to stay in shape and stay healthy to be able to be on the road for weeks or months at a time. So that's a little quick update of what's happened over the last 6 to 8 weeks in my life. And it's looking to be an awesome new year. I mean, we don't really have to start after or at the start of the new year. Just start now would be the best decision you can make. So don't wait. And for those of you who have any questions about ukulele technique, what I'm playing, or if you want to do this as a career or ever was curious about touring, If you have any questions, just let me know. Even if it's teaching workshops, being in the studio, collaborating with different artists, figuring out songs, arranging songs, writing music, whatever it is, just let us know. And how about another song? Since we are pretty much in our holiday season, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and this time of the year is kind of when all the the Christmas music starts being played. So here's a little simple song that we all are familiar with. Check it out. A little song called Jingle Bells. Let's see. Do we have any questions, anybody? It's like we got people tuning in from California, from DC, from Tokyo, Japan. Wow, thank you. It's pretty early in Japan right now. Question: do different woods for bridge and fretboard have a significant impact and tone on the ukulele? This is from Richard. It actually does make a difference. I would say with the bridge, a little bit more so than the fingerboard, because this piece of wood right here is capturing all the vibrations from the strings and then distributing it to the top of the ukulele. So a bridge is important, but it's not as significant as the type of wood that you use for the top. Because generally, most types of bridges will give you like a pretty decent, I guess you could say, resonance. The ones that most people prefer to use most times on higher end instruments, it's rosewood and ebony, And locally in Hawaii, with especially during like the early stages when ukulele was slowly becoming more and more popular, they used a lot of koa bridges. Koa and mahogany was probably the most used type of bridge for ukulele. And it wasn't until people started getting more into modern style builds, I would say maybe in the 70s or 80s, is when rosewood and ebony started being used. And but definitely, I'm a big believer of the bridge actually making a difference. Most times they're matching it with the fingerboard just to keep a unison or aesthetic look. So it keeps it looking very, very clean. And um, I would say, yes, the bridge and the fingerboard is not as important as the soundboard. The neck also is important. A lot of people don't know that the thickness of the neck and also what type of wood, how the neck is joined to the body. So you have different joints. You have a Spanish neck heel, you have a dovetail, and there's also bolt on. So those types of styles of necks actually makes a difference in how your instrument sounds. A lot of times when you are, if you have a bolt on neck for sure, for example, that makes it a lot easier for you to get repairs done on it. Say, for example, you need a neck reset. A bolt on neck makes it really easy for them to take it off and kind of bend everything back in place. Whereas a Spanish heel actually is a bit harder to do because basically the neck just perfectly slides into the body. There's these little grooves, so it's kind of like putting a puzzle together, except the puzzle pieces match perfectly with each other. And I believe that makes a really, really good sounding instrument. I've tried so many instruments over the years, but Spanish joints are usually some of the hardest to do. And most times when you see something, an instrument that has that type of feature on it, it's selling for quite a bit of money. It's more of a custom kind of thing, and I think it makes a difference. You even hear a drastic difference between that and a dovetail in a guitar because the body is so much bigger. So it'll pick up a lot more of these subtle frequencies that the ukulele doesn't really produce as well because of the smaller body. But I think it's a cool thing. And also too, different types of bridges. That's another thing. Different types of bridges will give you a different type of sound. So I actually prefer the most traditional one out of all of them, which is your standard tie bridge. And the reason being is that it's so much easier for me to change my strings, and I can basically change them without really looking at it. Um, it might not be as transparent or doesn't really transfer vibrations and sounds as well as some of them do, especially when you have the strings running through the top. So, take for example, you have a tie bridge like this, then you have your bridge pins, which is what Kanilea uses. And bridge pins were actually mostly used on a lot of guitars, so a lot of acoustics two-string guitars back in the day. And um, even though Kanilea really made bridge pins on an ukulele fairly popular, I remember seeing it being used back in like the early 2000s or prior on some small custom maker ukuleles here in Hawaii. One of my very first ukuleles that my dad purchased for me already had those bridge pins. And I think it's really secure as far as a bridge goes because the strings aren't really necessarily pulling solely on the bridge. Like for example, like the traditional bridges like this, all that string and weight is pulling from here. Whereas if you have something that's going through the body, it's a little bit more stable. And then you have string through bridges where it's not a bridge pin. Yes, there are holes in the bridge, but you have to stick the whole string through, fish it out from the sound hole, tie a knot, and then kind of pull it through and then string it up as normal. So a lot of classical style builders will build their instruments like that, and I can see why, because the string is literally making contact with the soundboard or top of the instrument. So I mean, if you're in terms of, I guess you could say, sound and frequency vibration, that's, to me, seems to be the most efficient. But I would still pick a tie bridge over that because of the convenience of being able to change my strings really quickly. So yeah, good question. Sorry if I kind of rambled on. I really get into stuff like this. And it says, oh, yeah, do I ever make any of my arrangements available for purchase? So I have three songs that's currently available in tab form. And one of my really good friends is a Berkeley graduate, and he transposed a few of these songs, and he's actually from Korea. You might know him. His name is Min Suk Choi, and he's a jazz ukulele player. But if any of you are interested in learning how to play Mach 4, The Unknown, or Only Hope, all three of these songs are available as for purchase as a PDF download on my Patreon page. So if you go to patreon.com/Kalei Gummiao, you can check out what I have available on my Patreon. And it's a new project that myself and Isaac have been working on. We have a whole bunch of lessons, tips, and tricks, behind the scenes videos. So if you like what I do, like what I talk about, and would like to experience more from my side or my perspective on how to approach ukulele, please check out our Patreon page. We have free content available as well as paid. So of course, the paid ones have a lot more content. I think we have about 2 months worth of videos currently right now available to watch. So if you would like to check it out, we'd greatly appreciate it. And hopefully sometime in the near future, we can release a book for everyone to purchase. So I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to be 5 songs, 10 songs. Let's see what we can put together, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with all of you. Okay, let's see. Oh, it says, hi Kalei, what kind of pickup system do you mostly use in your ukes? So pickups is a very, very important thing for any kind of performer. So for one, when you are practicing, before you even become a professional performer, you're practicing how to play clean. You're practicing how to play on time. And then there's a point where you start practicing tone and how to make things sound good. And so a pickup is very, very important. Every single pickup on the market has a different type of sound. Now, I'm not much of a fan of passive pickups. A lot of the classical musicians or purists will probably strongly disagree with me. But the thing is that when you are plugged in a sound system, it's so much easier to get a strong and clean signal from an active pickup system. It's also easier to get a better tone from an active system. And I guess the argument between active and passive is that passive has a really, really natural sound. But the issue with passive is that it sounds extremely bright. So if you have to go there and turn the highs all the way down just to get a sound that you prefer, then that's not really a transparent and natural tone to it. So regardless of what you use, unless you're going to be mic'd on stage, I suggest using a active system. So I've tried everything from LR Bags, and I noticed with the LR Bags 5.0, if you really like to play hard and strong on your ukulele, that might not be the best pickup for you. Because for myself, I've experienced the pickup actually distorting after I put so much pressure on the strings. I've heard they've taken care of that problem. It's just I've found other pickups that I liked. I dabbled and experimented with the Fishman Matrix Natural 1, which is actually the pickup that Jake uses. I've been using that since before I even knew he was using those pickups,
Which you can't get anymore
and yeah, you can't get it anymore. So
because Jake bought all the.
Facebook Fishman Matrix Natural 1 is all bought out by Jake. So Jake bought the remaining inventory after when they made the switch from the Fishman Matrix Natural 1 to just the, I think it's the Matrix Infinity. And I've even had some experiences with that type of pickup too. So both the Matrix Natural 1 and the Infinity pickup uses this almost the same type of element. So like the element is what you put underneath this strip right here where the strings rest on. That's called a saddle. So when you put a pickup in, aside from drilling the holes, this needs to come up, and there's a small little element or a contact point that picks up all the sound. And they both use the same type of element. And the one thing that I don't really like about Fishman is that the older pickups, the element is extremely fragile. So once you get like a little scratch or a dent in it, you can have some grounding issues. And that's one of the things that I've experienced and wish that those types of problems never really happened. I've tried the LR Bags Element, which is the guitar under the saddle pickup, and they actually use a different type of element. It's more of like a crystal or a string that kind of goes through here. Is really, really strong. It's pretty durable. That one I had in my ukulele for about 3 or 4 years without having to replace it until finally I needed to put a new one in because of all the touring, which causes the wood to expand and contract. So it could have been squishing or moving that element around. But currently, what I have been using is the Anoe Air pickups, and I found that it's actually really easy for me to work with. I'm very familiar with how to get a nice tone from my instruments because I use a active preamp or a DI. So my DI has all the type of settings that you could think about or need to get the perfect tone that you're trying to achieve. It's just, highs, lows, mids. You got low mids, high mids, and it's great. I prefer to, I mean, I think that's probably the most important part of my whole setup is the active preamp or DI box as we call it, and running it through an active pickup sounds great because it's just really easy for me to dial in all my tone settings. And the air pickup has a very pretty natural sound to it. I'm not gonna lie, it has a mic blend, so the controls are all hitting in here by the sound hole, and this side controls the volume, this side controls the microphone. I don't really use the microphone much, only when I need to, but even when it's on, it sounds pretty natural. But there's a new type of pickup that just came out from my side, and I'm looking to get one of those installed in my ukulele. It's the Maisai Motif. And the way it's designed is that each string under the saddle has like its own dedicated pickup. So getting a very nice and even sound is great with those. If you even look at how much more output the Maisai Motif actually has, it's even greater than the previous model. It uses a little bit more battery. The charge time is longer, but you're still going to get a lot of playing time with it. And if you're going to be performing and you want a really nice sound, then that's a small price to pay. You could charge the pickup on your way to your gig. It's not that hard. So that's kind of my little, I guess you could say, opinion about pickups. So active systems, try them out because like not every single pickup works with every single ukulele. Some ukuleles sound better with an LR bag. Some sound better with a Fishman. Some sound better with an Anoinoi or Mai Sai. And the same thing with strings. You want to try and experiment with the strings. A lot of people ask me, what are your favorite strings? So I usually just go to my one of my favorite manufacturers. The Dario is one of them. Um, if you want a better quality sound, try their guitar strings. Buy two guitar sets and just double up on the high E for the first and fourth string if you want to play high G. Try those out. I use the extra hard tension. And, just things like that. Subtle differences makes a big difference for a lot of people. And let's see, what else questions do I have? Let's see. Oh yeah, we got a question. Maybe some tips on how to learn to make arrangements. So arranging is kind of like the next thing I'll be working on. I want to create a type of program or something for people to learn how to improvise, for people to learn how to arrange, and for people to learn how to write. And it was interesting about those types of subjects is that growing up here in Hawaii, no one really taught any of us how to really arrange, write, or improvise. There's no such thing as these types of classes 20 years ago. It was mostly you go to learn from your teacher teaches you a song. And it is one of those, these are some of the subjects that I feel a lot of places lack. There's not a whole lot of people that have a course like this, and I'm gonna be straight up with you. It's not easy to teach stuff like that. Although I've had some workshops in the past, and I've taught improvising, arranging, and songwriting, and to make it more like a 6 to 12 month kind of series is something I'm really looking forward to doing because I wanted to share my experiences and help everyone as well. So if you're looking to arrange music, then you have to be familiar with all the notes in that key that song is. So what I usually do, my first step, is to listen to a song and figure out everything in that key. And this song could be in C sharp, it could be in E. And this is when your ear training is extremely important. Now, granted, nowadays you can just go on the internet and print out the lyrics with the chords on it, so at least you can get the chords correct. But what about the melody? Most people who play ukulele can't read music, so what's next? Like, how do you write something? There's a lot of people that have written music without writing any of it down. I'm one of them, and a lot of it has to do is being very familiar with chords, scales, and trusting your ear. Your ear is so important. This is really important. So the first thing that I would say is before you can start improvising, before you can start writing music, before you can even arrange, what you should be doing is listening to songs that randomly comes on, whether if you're on Spotify, Pandora, listening to the radio, and try to figure those out. Train your ears to listen to be able to hear chords, recognize what type of chords, and actually pick up patterns, whether if it's a chord progression or repeat in the melody, and slowly try to dissect each part out. And when you can finally do that, then arranging and writing music starts to become a little bit easier because now instead of trying to think and create something from a blank page, you already have something there, and all you're doing is just kind of connecting the dots and then filling in the colors and all these kinds of things. So practice being able to play along with a song that just randomly plays, like just the chords, that's a great start. Don't really focus on the melody unless that's a song that you really want to do. So step one, learn the chords. Step two, learn the melody. Step step three is start putting them together. So now you have to be aware of where these chords are, because you can play C in so many different positions on the ukulele. But say, for example, the chord C, but the melody is all the way up here. What are you going to play? So that's why it's important for you to know where is C up and down the fretboard. And then when you write music, you're pretty much referring to a lot of your favorite type of sounds. So one of my favorite chords would be something like this. That's actually a chord that I use in the unknown. I'm just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Why don't I keep this string open? So I was like, okay, G minor with an open A. I'm thinking more of a B flat 6 or G minor 7, but then it changes with this. Then this is a E flat with an open A, and then F. So from there, I'm mostly being creative and experiment with different types of voicings. I think this is like something that you would probably want to get down first before you even consider writing or arranging, is ear training. I think that's extremely helpful. Yeah, let's see. Any more questions from anybody? Maybe we can go into a clip. So when I was in China, my first stop was actually, aside from Hong Kong, China, when I went to mainland China, the first stop or first place I stopped in was Guangzhou, and got to meet up with really cool guy. He's a good friend, Eric Wong, and he's a very busy musician. He kind of plays with almost everybody, and he owns his own, I guess you could say, instrument shop. He does a lot of videos. He's a very, very cool guy, very influential, and we got to do a kind of like an interview in his store to kind of address the ukulele community in China, and we were promoting my concerts, and we had a really, really cool and interesting conversation. So how about we kind of segue into there, and hope you folks enjoy this video clip.
Oh, he learned ukulele because of your show. Wow, nice.
Thank you.
You have a lot of people.
Thank you.
And yeah, continue. Which one your technical, difficult?
I think one of the hardest ones was 4-string Fury
Okay.
because of all the techniques. Because it goes.
Wow.
It's all the sweep picking, like arpeggios. So you have to strum and then. And it's also in F minor, so there's not a whole lot of open string notes
No
that
open string.
will work.
就是没有空弦，全部都是要按的那种，全部都是要按的那种，然后很多那个爬音，对，OK。
Ooh, have I tried Cantonese?
为什么广州
Oh yes. I love the food.
Yeah， 我刚刚就带他去吃广东菜 Cantonese food 了。 对，刚刚就吃了。昨天在香港也是 Cantonese food. Yesterday in Hong Kong is Cantonese food.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
same. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very delicious.
yeah.
Oh, we have someone from Peru.
Really?
Yeah. Right. Right.
Ah.
Wow. It's so far away.
Cool. So then, thanks to TikTok.
Actually, I love
Can
Peruvian
connect.
food too. Peruvian food is delicious.
Yeah.
Like saltado steak. Really good.
所以刚刚那个已经回答你的那首歌，追我們還不過來，還不過來 ，Welcome 你個頭咩屌你！
Ooh, ceviche. Yes.
Small heart.
Oh, thank
But
you.
you cannot get it because it's my ID. I won't share to you.
Send it to her.
But why you think like this F minor tune? How you start for this tune?
This is usually when I write some songs. Because there's not every ukulele song
Yep.
is good for me to play.
Ah.
So how I actually get better is to
Ah.
write songs that's difficult for me to play. And
Force yourself to be.
yeah, just for me, and so that's why I know how to play in weird keys like E major.
Yeah.
Ukulele players don't like E major.
就是大家是不是很少弹E大调这个调？Yeah.
Because there is no G or C in the key of E, only E and A.
对。
So if you hold the chord wrong or play the wrong note, it sounds really bad. So you have to be very accurate. Yeah.
所以他就会选择一些比较少弹的调去写一些东西出来，逼他自己去学啊，明白的扣一啊，听得明白的扣一啊。We got a rules. It seems like if you understand plus one.
Oh,
So you can see many one. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example, like key of E. Like normally you play
E
like
大
this.
调。
Yeah, 4, 4, 4, 7. But I leave the E string open, so I can do stuff like. And then you get really nice chord voicings like this A major 7. And then you can go to a B, but you can keep the E as open.
Yeah.
So the root chord is always
Low G
present.
also okay.
Yes, low G
Yeah.
is really nice. But then for the reason why I like high G for this one, because the A
Yeah.
major 7 over here,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
actually strum all the strings or play everything.
所以他刚刚讲的就是他会留着这个空弦作为一个一直响的东西，然后这样子弹的话就可以保留的这个E大调，所以他就是说，哎，我们玩不同的调就可以有不同的一些声音。Yeah, I use low G. I like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes, that's really nice.
Yeah.
You can do the
Yeah.
walk down.
Yeah. Walk down and keep the. It's so fun.
I have a question: how to memorize a long solo performance? You have to take it one part at a time. So if you have a song, you practice just a part, and then when you can not look at the music, then you practice the B part. Try not to practice everything together.
Yeah.
If you do that, then it's much harder to memorize. So a little at a time.
Oh, I hope you folks enjoyed that clip. That was just a really short interview with my friend Eric Wong, and it was a lot of fun. We got to kind of talk story with the ukulele community in China, and it also was to help promote one of my shows there too. It was fun. Had a great time, and I guess you could say this trip in China to China was actually probably the most I've ever gotten to explore and go sightseeing. There's been a few days throughout the trip where because we're trying to really, I guess you could say, fit in as much activities as we could. So if there was one free day to do stuff, we would be out all day, from hiking in the mountains to checking out the night markets and all these really, really cool spots, especially during the evening. A lot of people don't know this, but when you go to China during the evening, most of the major cities pretty much light up. It looks like some sort of fantasy town that you would probably only see on video games, but it's really, really, really impressive. One of my most favorite memories of visiting and touring in China was going to Luoyang, and that city is very historical, and they have a lot of buildings and things to see that's been around for a long, 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 long time. And after a full day of exploring and walking all around, we made one last stop at this night market, and it was really beautiful. I mean, there was a lot of visitors, a lot of people that were tourists just like me, and it was a lot of fun. We were trying to look for a spot to record a song or video clip, and we finally found one, and it was in front of this shop. And while we were recording, I guess like the owner nearby could hear some sort of what is this music going on? And they ended up coming out and watching for a little while. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Let's take a look at this next clip at the night market. Well, I hope you folks enjoyed that clip. I had a lot of fun walking around. The biggest challenge for that market, just to get that one shot of me playing ukulele, was trying to find some place that was quiet enough and the lighting was pretty decent. And I was so surprised to see so many, I guess you could say, social media influencers there in that one location. I guess because all the buildings were lit up and it was a very, very beautiful, scenic place. But it was just crawling with just like so much people with their cell phones, selfie sticks. There was like, I guess you could say, models or people that are wearing traditional Chinese clothes. They would hire their own photographer, and these people are walking around with wagons just full of props and all their camera gear. And it seemed like every single person had a camera guy, and there was probably over 1,000 of these people walking around taking pictures, and it was pretty cool. I think it would have been nicer without that crowd, but and then again, I don't blame everybody wanting to film something. I mean, we did. I was literally walking on there with an Osmo Pocket 3, and pretty much all the clips that you saw so far was all recorded. Well, I attempted to record it, whatever I could, and this was the first time bringing a camera along with me and doing everything myself on a trip. So that was a lot of fun. It was pretty cool, and I had two very good friends that took care of me the whole entire trip. They represented a fingerstyle guitar company, but this was the first ukulele artist that they actually worked with and helped organize a tour. And it was great hanging out with them. So hopefully I get to introduce you folks to these people sometime soon. Most likely when I see them again, maybe during NAM. We'll see what we can get. But that was awesome. And so after Loyang, I went to Tianjin. And then after Tianjin, we went to the Guangzhou Ukulele Festival. And this is something really, really cool. I don't think people really realize how great and how good ukulele players in China really are. And I was shocked. I was very, very impressed. I mean, we just put together some clips of some of the performances. And so this is how the competition was actually scheduled. It was a 2-day competition, but it was split between vocal and fingerstyle, which is, I think this is how every single ukulele competition should be done. You should not have vocal and fingerstyle players competing for the same title, and or even if you separate them, you're trying to figure out who played better or who performed better. I don't think that's how you should do it. How they did it in China was actually very, very impressive. And so the first day, I was there from 9 a.m. and they had multiple categories, or I should say multiple competitions. So normally when you go to an ukulele contest or competition, it's everything all together as a whole. But every category had enough contestants to make it its own competition. So we started off with the kids. After the kids or the children's division, we went to the teens. After the teens, we went to the adults. And then after the adults, we moved on to the group category. And I think the competition went from 9 a.m. all the way to 10 p.m. the same day. And this was probably the biggest and longest competition I ever had the opportunity to judge. And it was really great because I got to sit down amongst the other judges, and all of them own their own schools, and they're all well-known teachers, and they're all cheering on each other's students, and like, giving each other high fives, like, "Wow, your student did awesome," and it was great. It's a really cool community. But here's the shocking part. You look at these kids play. They're using my songs and Jake's songs as little kids' play toys. Whether if it's gonna be Third Stream from Jake or Mach 4 or The Unknown from me. I mean, they're playing them, and they're playing them very, very good. And there was this one surprise towards the end, and hopefully we can show you a clip of that, where the adult or grand champion did a ukulele version of, I'm not sure if you know who Morrissey is. He is probably one of the most viral guitar players today. He does all sorts of crazy percussive techniques and finger tapping. Phenomenal. But then I got to see this one contestant that hasn't been playing very long, well, especially not ukulele, do it on a 4-string instrument, and I was blown away. So here are some clips from this competition. I hope this inspires you and everyone out there, because it really doesn't matter what age you are, how long you've been playing. All that matters is that you're having fun. The only difference between how the ukulele players and students in China, I guess you could say, study, is that they just want to be the best that they can, and they practice a lot. There is no such thing as I can't. They keep trying and trying until they can. And that's exactly what I usually try to teach in my workshops. So check this out, and you'll understand why people like me might be retiring soon, is because this next generation is amazing. All right, hope you folks enjoyed that. That was 13 hours of me pretty much having the opportunity to judge this awesome competition. It was great. I mean, I was thoroughly enjoying myself. Even towards the end of the day, of just being drained from being because of all the excitement. it was an amazing experience. And so those were pretty much the younger categories. And all of a sudden, everybody was like, "Can it get better?" Because there's also a few clips that I would like to show you guys on another day. That was extremely impressive. And here comes walking the last solo performer contestant of the day. And all of us didn't really know, like, how do you score this? Like, what's going on? Because she literally blew the socks off of everybody. It was a great performance. And so happy to share this with you folks. So check it out. How was that? What do you guys think of that? Just imagine, I mean, being a judge in that kind of competition, and then all of a sudden you see all these amazing acts and performances and contestants. It's truly amazing, and I wouldn't have been able to witness any of this if I wasn't be able to do this as a career, travel and play ukulele for everyone. So I hope you folks enjoyed that. And also too is I forgot to mention earlier that we actually have a tip jar too. So if any of you folks like what you're seeing and want to send over anything, that's always welcome. It's no pressure at all. It's just forgot to mention it earlier. And so if you like all these types of footage, there will be more being released very soon on our Patreon page. And that was great because I remember before the contest even started, that contestant was kind of walking around checking out all the booths. And so, of course, I was with the Anui Nui team. So I was at their table. And then she comes up, she's like, hey, can I play this song for you? I was like, yeah, sure. And then I was like, I remember watching it. This is not even a performance. This is like where it was a crowded area, lots of noise, and it was just maybe a million ukuleles being played at the same time. But she played it, and I was like, dang. If you're going to enter that in the competition, I think you're going to win. But I didn't say anything. But as soon as she walked up there, I was like, okay, I think this person's gonna win the whole entire competition. But she did. She ended up winning a UT3K, which is a higher tier coal model from Anui Nui. Very, very beautiful ukulele. Speaking of ukulele, you probably are wondering what's in my hands. So I am here at Ukulele Lab with Isaac Peters, and these are some ukuleles right now that are on special. So especially because the holidays are coming around, we have Thanksgiving that's going to be happening in a couple of weeks, and then just a little over a month, about 6 weeks from now, it will be Christmas. So if any of you have not been able to decide on what type of ukulele or instrument you're going to get that special someone, whether if it's a friend, family member, significant other, we got some really beautiful ukuleles here. So all of the pricing and information will be available at ukulelelab.com. So check them out. We have the link in the comment section. So go to www.ukulelelab.com. So check them out. So the first one I have in my hand is a beautiful Koaloha tenor. This is made out of mango, which is probably one of the most underrated woods to build with. Why? It's because it has a really beautiful sound. Mango is grown all over the world, so it's very, very sustainable. And this one in particular has some nice curl, especially going on the top. You got really nice spalt coming on the sides. I really like the sides. This is beautiful. And then more curly mango on the back. So this has more of a warm sound. It still sounds very rich and full. Next up, we have another beautiful Kamaka tenor. This is the HF3 Plus, I believe. Is that correct, Isaac? HF3 Plus. So Probably wondering what is the plus, because there's the HF3, which is their probably their standard Koa tenor model. The plus means rosette, and lately Kamaka has been using a little bit more curlier wood for their builds too. This is beautiful. You get all the traditional things and my favorite stuff about the regular HF3, with just a little bit more. Hawaiian koa, top, back, and sides. Abalone or mother of pearl for the rosette with purfling. Rosewood bridge fingerboard, koa faceplate, and mother of pearl Kamaka inlay. The logo on the top. Nice punchy sound. And then, what else do we have? Here's another Koaloha tenor ukulele. This is a cedar top with walnut, claro walnut, back and sides. This walnut is kind of crazy. It's really, really, really curly. And I think we have someone at the door. Someone's knocking on the door. But cedar top, abalone rosette, and claro walnut back and sides. This is very, very beautiful walnut. Mahogany neck. Looks like we got ebony bridge and fingerboard. And again, these are all available at on the Ukulele Lab website. We have the links posted in the comments section. So this actually has a really nice balanced sound. Like, it's really warm, it's really deep, but it still has some clarity to it too. I think the mango model was a little bit warmer, deeper, but this one is a little bit more balanced. fourth and final ukulele. And no, this is not the one that I was playing earlier. This is actually, of course, it is a Moonbird or Anui Noe UT 200. This one belongs here at the Ukulele Lab, and a lot of you are familiar with this model. I perform with this model all the time, and it's probably my most used ukulele at the moment. I got my custom Kamaka being repaired. This features Swiss moon spruce, East Indian rosewood back and sides, and Anui Noe does a really cool design with, especially with their bodies. I mean, it's very, very cleverly designed. When you think about it, most ukuleles with a cutaway, usually this part over here, it kind of sticks out a bit. So sometimes it can get in the way, which, you know, kind of defeats the purpose of having a cutaway. Whereas in this case, your hand perfectly falls straight down with ease, literally takes no effort. And I like the offset type of bindings that they normally put. It kind of makes the, I guess you could say, the body look asymmetrical. You have spalted maple for the moon phase here, the fret dots, ebony bridge fingerboard, and faceplate with Mother of Pearl logo, Goto UPT tuners in black on the back. And yeah, it's a really, really good build. This one has a fluorocarbon low G set. So let's give this one a little sound sample. Oh, well, I guess that brings us into our live stream. Make sure to leave us any suggestions in the comments, or you can check out our Patreon page, leave a comments in one of the videos on there. And yeah, it's been fun. Every week we're going to try and do something different. Some of the things that we've been thinking of in the future, hopefully sometime soon, is having guests on our live stream and even some mini podcasts too. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully within the next week or two we can get a special guest. So thank you all so much for all of your support. And don't forget to subscribe to the Patreon if you are interested in getting access to mini lessons, whether if it's going to be tips and tricks to performance videos. We're going to be releasing more and more as we go. So thank you so much for all of all of you that already follow us on Patreon, and especially to the members that signed up for the, I guess you could say, super fan membership, and we really, really appreciate it. Our goal is to be able to share as much about this instrument as possible through our own eyes, perspectives, and if you have any suggestions, or if you didn't really care for some of it, please let us know. We want to make sure that what we're putting out is what you folks want to see, want to learn, and want to spend your time on. So thank you all so much. Be on the lookout for the next live stream. And yeah, let us know what you want. Take care, aloha, and keep strumming.